A 2020 study by the United States Occupational Safety and Health Administration, or OSHA, found that about one-third of construction fatalities were the result of a fall to a lower level, making it the leading cause of death for the industry. Now, this risk isn't limited to one profession, but includes construction, utilities and public works, oil and gas, and any other industries that involve work at height. Now, falls from any height can lead to a serious injury or even death. However, these falls and fatalities are preventable. In this training, we will cover the risk of falls and working at height, fall prevention and fall protection, and your employer's responsibility for ensuring the safety of everyone on site. OSHA defines work at height as any work in which employees are at risk of a fall from an elevated position that could lead to injury or death. Now, this can include work activities carried out on or near ladders, scaffolding, elevated platforms and walkways, rooftops, both flat and sloped, open edges such as holes, pits, and trenches, power lines, towers, and turbines, elevated equipment and machinery, and other scenarios that involve, as the name implies, working at heights. While a fall from even a relatively low elevation may lead to injury or death, other risks of working at height include falls into hazardous machinery or materials and sustaining injuries from falling objects. To ensure worker safety, OSHA has established specific regulations for working at height, including requirements for fall protection systems, guardrail systems, and personal protective equipment. The term fall prevention and fall protection are often used interchangeably in the field. However, for the purposes of this training, we make the following distinction. Fall prevention involves taking measures to eliminate or minimize the risk of falling by addressing hazards. A fall protection aims to reduce the severity of injury in the case of an accidental fall. Next, we'll discuss a few of these fall prevention and protection measures you may encounter and should be familiar with. Now, as previously mentioned, the aim of fall prevention is to stop falls from occurring in the first place. Fall prevention can be achieved through a number of both engineered and procedural safety measures. Employers must guard any open edges or holes a worker may accidentally fall or walk off of with a guardrail and toe board or floor hole cover. Guardrail systems may be made from a variety of materials, but must adhere to the following OSHA regulations. Height. Guardrail systems must have a top rail height of 42 inches plus or minus 3 inches and a mid-rail height of 21 inches. Strength. Guardrail systems must be able to withstand a force of at least 200 pounds in any outward or downward direction. Toe boards. Guardrail systems must have a vertical toe board installed at the base of the guardrail to prevent objects from falling off the walking or working surface. Points of access. If installed around access points, such as ladderways, guardrails must have self-closing gates or offset access points to prevent falls into the opening. Regular inspection and maintenance. Guardrail systems must be inspected to ensure that they are in good condition and functioning properly. Any damaged or missing components must be repaired or replaced immediately. Covers used to guard holes in floors, roofs, and other walking or working surfaces must adhere to the following OSHA requirements. They must provide weight support. Covers must be able to support at least 2 times the maximum intended load imposed on the cover at any one time, including workers, equipment, and vehicles. And they must be secured. Covers must also be secured to prevent accidental displacement by the wind, equipment, or employees. Employers may also make use of designated areas and warning lines to keep employees within a safe distance of any unprotected edge without the need for additional fall prevention or protection. OSHA defines a designated area as a walking or working surface enclosed by a warning line or similar barrier. Warning lines can be made from rope, wire, tape, or chain, but They must be installed no less than 6 feet from the open edge for temporary work and no less than 15 feet for all other work. Be clearly visible from a distance of 25 feet. Meet height requirements of between 34 and 39 inches, accounting for slack. And have a minimum braking strength of 200 pounds. To maintain a safe work environment, regular safety audits and hazard assessments are crucial. Now, this involves supervisors regularly inspecting the work area for new fall hazards or taking appropriate measures to address them. It's also important to assess the integrity of surfaces on which employees will be working, ensuring that they are free from debris or other hazards and are clean and dry to prevent slips, trips, and falls. Regular inspections can identify potential hazards that may not have been present during the initial hazard assessment and can ensure that safety measures remain effective over time. Remember, preventing falls starts with proper planning and assessment. Conducting regular safety audits and hazard assessments can help create a safe work environment for everyone. Despite the best efforts to prevent falls from occurring, accidents can still happen in the workplace. Therefore, it's important to put measures in place that minimize the impact of a fall in case one occurs. This is where fall protection comes into play. As previously mentioned, fall protection is a crucial component of workplace safety that involves implementing systems and equipment to reduce the severity of falls from height. By using fall protection measures like personal fall arrest systems and safety nets, employers can minimize the risk of injuries or fatalities resulting from falls and create a safer work environment for their employees. OSHA defines a personal fall arrest system as a system used to stop an employee in a fall from a walking/working surface. Now, these systems might consist of a body harness, an anchorage point, and a connector such as a lanyard, deceleration device, lifeline, or a combination of these. PFAs can be used in addition to fall prevention measures where the risk of falling is especially high or where fall prevention measures aren't practical, such as on the leading edge or forward edge of work under construction. Personal fall arrest systems should be capable of supporting at least 5,000 pounds, must only be used by one worker at a time, and cannot allow its user to fall more than 6 feet or contact any lower level. You should inspect your PFA before every use for any damage or deterioration and replace any defective parts immediately. Lastly, these systems are meant exclusively for employee fall protection. It should not be used for any other purpose like hoisting equipment or materials. Safety nets are another type of fall protection system that can be used to minimize the risk of injury from falls in the workplace. Safety nets are typically installed beneath working surfaces and should meet certain requirements to ensure their effectiveness, like placement, size, mesh opening, border rope strength, and drop testing for inspection frequency. Safety nets should be installed as close as possible under the working surface, but no more than 30 feet below, with enough clearance to prevent contact with any surface or object below in the case of a fall. They should extend out to a minimum of 8 feet for potential falls of up to 5 feet, 10 feet for falls up to 10 feet, and 13 feet for falls over 10 feet. The maximum size of each safety net mesh opening should not exceed 6 by 6 inches, and each safety net should have a border rope for webbing with a minimum breaking strength of 5,000 pounds. Lastly, safety nets must be drop tested after initial installation, relocation, major repair, and at 6-month intervals if left in one place. They must also be inspected weekly for any damage or deterioration. Employers are responsible for ensuring that appropriate safety measures are in place to prevent falls and other accidents, and that their workers are trained and equipped to work safely at heights. Proper planning involves assessing the work site for safety and fall hazards, identifying potential risks, and creating a plan to minimize them. According to a survey put out by the Center for Construction Research and Training, CPWR, insufficient or ineffective planning was the primary cause of falls from height. Now, this means proper planning is fundamental to workplace safety. OSHA mandates that appropriate measures for fall prevention and protection be taken in the workplace. This includes providing fall protection at elevations of 4 feet in general industry workplaces, 5 feet in shipyards, 6 feet in the construction industry, and 8 feet in longshoring operations. Additionally, fall prevention and protection must be provided when working over top of hazardous equipment and machinery, regardless of the distance of the potential fall. Based on OSHA reports, nearly 90% of fatal falls happen when no fall protection system is in place. Employers must provide employees with the necessary fall prevention and protection equipment suitable for the work being done. I remember that survey on falls from height. Nearly half of the respondents reported that no fall protection was being used at the time of a fall. Employers must also ensure that all workers are trained to use fall prevention and protection equipment correctly before starting any work at height. Now, that training should cover the proper use of equipment, potential hazards, and emergency procedures. Falls from height are a leading cause of injuries and fatalities in many industries, including construction, utilities, oil and gas, and more. But the good news is that falls and fatalities are preventable. Now, in this training, we covered the risk of working at height and fall prevention and protection measures. We discussed how fall prevention measures like guardrails and tow boards, covers, designated areas, warning lines, and regular safety audits can minimize the risk of falls. We also talked about how fall protection measures like personal fall arrest systems and safety nets can reduce the severity of a fall. Lastly, we highlighted employers' responsibilities to properly plan ahead, provide the right equipment, and train their employees to work safely at heights. Remember, safety is everyone's responsibility, and by working together and following these guidelines, we can create a safer work environment for all.